We are the champions of the world. Our Junior Springboks have slayed their New Zealand counterparts in the Under-20 World Championship final to bring home the trophy for the first time in 13 years. And in this episode, you are going to get a front row seat as I break down what amounted to a near perfect performance from our boys. It took less than 2.5 minutes and we were in the lead. Eighth man, Wandile Mlaba going over. We had a line out and then you just know what happened next. Maul, drive and over. Vusi Moyo knocking over the conversion and it was 7-0. Rico Simpson overshot his penalty out of hand, which might have otherwise given the New Zealanders a line out about 5 to 10 metres out. A sign of early nerves from the young Kiwi 10 perhaps. The Junior Boks scrum took the Baby Blacks back to school in the resultant scrum. It was a wonderful start by our youngsters. But don't forget, we had seen this in Kaibecha in the Under-20 Rugby Championship. That day we led 19-0 only to ultimately lose. And one thing we know is that we cannot ever take anything for granted against New Zealand, senior side or otherwise. But we've come a very long way since that series in GQ. The only early concern for me was Siposeto Mnebelele twice losing a line-out on his own throw in the opening 7 minutes. Credit to Jaden Sarbo for both steals. That said, I don't recall Mnebelele losing a line-out again, so perhaps just a bit of early match nerves for him. Now listen, I've had a go at our Junior Springboks defence. I think anyone with eyes will agree during the Under-20 Rugby Championship it was not good enough. During this World Championship it has been good, at times even very good, but what we saw here was sublime. Wave after wave of Baby Blacks' attack was repelled by our outstanding defence. Think back to the way our defence became a brick wall in the 2019 Rugby World Cup final against England, shortly before half-time. There was just no way through for them. And this is what the Junior Boks reminded me of here. Every time it looked like a Kiwi was about to go over, he was simply blocked, wrapped and turned over. In many cases, literally. I estimate that was 2 to 3 minutes of relentless attacking pressure that we absorbed. It was magnificent to watch us in defensive action. That said, New Zealand have a nasty habit of finding a way through. Eventually it was Saar who got the ball going around the blind side from a line-out and he scored in the corner. Great start to this final, that's for sure. Now for all our flair and try-scoring prowess at this tournament, I was really impressed that we decided to go for the 3 points when we received a penalty almost right in front of their posts. Why? Because it's a final. You should treat it as a test match. And the golden rule in tests, and indeed finals rugby, is to take the 3 points when they're on offer. Think 15-12 and 12-11. Moyo's penalty putting us 10-5 up. The Baby Blacks were down to 14 men in the 23rd minute. Luced Sikapole, the yellow-carded offender for a high tackle on JJ Tron, who had to go off for an HIA. Bad news followed for Pole. His yellow card was upgraded to a 20-minute red. The review concluded that there had been a high degree of danger, so a red card to a Kiwi in a Rugby World Cup final. Where have we seen this before? Okay, 20-minute red in this instance, but there is a parallel, isn't there? I thought we were maybe trying to score the kind of try that I often hear fans of the FIFA football video game speak of, a PlayStation goal. Or in this case, a PlayStation try. We were trying all kinds of cute tricks in the backline to try and create space in the hope of scoring another beautiful try and obviously exploiting the space that was now left over by them being down to 14. Having said that, sometimes you need to just stick to the basics and the cracks will come. Sometimes the 14 are galvanized and it's almost as if that 15th guy was just getting in the way, if you know what I mean. You can forgive this and put it down to the exuberance of youth, of course. Unfortunately, we would also soon be down to 14 men. Albie Bester coming in at the ruck and his shoulder making head contact with their fullback, Stanley Solomon. So we didn't actually benefit from having 15 against 14. That yellow effectively meant the second 10 minutes of the 20-minute red card was wiped out. 14 v 14 then in Rovigo. That said, we did get another Vusi Moyo penalty to make it 13-5. For me, the big takeaway from this final in that first half was that we came ready for an arm wrestle and prepared to play the percentages. Equally happy to kick when we needed to. It's interesting because we basically ran our way into the final and we're now trying to kick our way to the title. But as I said earlier, finals are won by kicks oftentimes. And when you get a shot at 3 points, you should take it. We were doing just that. And it was 13-5 to the Junior Springboks at the break. And then, early in that second half, it was deja vu. Again, New Zealand were hammering away at our try line, but there was just no way through. We defended gallantly. It was wave after wave, and eventually, after a knock-on, they decided to take the 3 points. Simpson slotting the 3 points on this occasion. Also, by now, it was again 15 v 15. Obviously, Pole couldn't come back on, but they had Israel time on the field at loosehead. Similarly, Bester was back on the field for us. Now let me tell you, one of the things I love about Springboks All Blacks tests is the tension. You just cannot relax for a second. We're talking high stress levels. That is obviously amplified in a final. And I felt that we were reaching those sorts of levels in this under-20 contest between the two greatest rugby nations on earth. 13-8 with 28 minutes to go. Bring it on, man. And sure enough, the 8-point lead was restored in the 57th minute, courtesy of another Vusi Moyo penalty. By the way, this kid just boots 3-pointers for fun in high-pressure situations. Remind you of anyone? A brilliant big scrum from our boys saw the ball come out to Cheswell Ewerster, who then played a kick and chase that could not have bounced better for our boys. Rico Simpson tackled behind his own try line, and that meant a 5-meter scrum for our boys. We pushed and pushed before Hashim Peed, the player of the tournament in my opinion, grabbed the ball from the base of the scrum and charged his way over for a try. Except it was all in vain because Dylan Pledger was held back. Unnecessarily, to be honest, but held back nevertheless. And so the tension remained at the drinks break. 18 minutes to go, 16-8. Could we hold on? Then, almost incredibly, Moyo missed a 65th minute penalty. To just show that he is human after all. Still, the Baby Blacks would have to score twice in any case, regardless of whether or not Vusi hit the target. Perhaps surprisingly, the Kiwis kicked for touch when they got themselves a penalty right in front of our posts. Remember, a penalty and a try would level the scores, and a successful conversion would win it for them. Perhaps. So they backed their line out, but backchat of all things resulted in the Kiwis being penalised after obstruction on their part at that line out. Vusi cleared the lines well, and we were ever so slightly inside our own half again. The drive from that line out saw us back inside their territory. Great position to be in with 11 minutes to go and still 8 ahead. To compound New Zealand's problems from that resultant line out, we mauled and Xavier Tracy was yellow carded. They would be chasing the remainder of this final with only 14 men on the field. Time to give credit to the Kiwis. We tried everything to force our way over their try line from the line-out drive, but this time it was the boys in black who defended as if their lives depended on it. They kept us out successfully, but only for so long. It was all over when Yaku Williams scored a try to put us out of sight with 4 minutes to go. This came from a scrum, and Hashim Peed acted quickly before kicking it ahead behind the Kiwi defence, only for Williams to race past them all and dot down in the in-goal area. Moyo's conversion added salt to the wounds, 23-8, with 2.5 minutes to play. Game over. Congratulations to our Junior Springboks. They have been nothing short of sensational. 2 months ago, we feared the worst. We were mediocre in the Under-20 Rugby Championship. It was clear we could attack, but we couldn't defend. In this tournament, that attack of ours was turbocharged, and our defense became rock solid. So much so that the least amount of tries we conceded in a match, jointly anyway, was in the final. The New Zealanders scored a late consolation try, but who cares? Because we are the champions. And for only the second time. And the first time since the Stephen Kitzelf, Peter Steph du Toit and Handré Pollard class of 2012. Well done to Coach Kevin Foote and his staff. I'm giving our boys a 10 out of 10 for this final performance. They played the final perfectly, in my opinion. And man of the match? You already know I'm going with a loose forward. And my loose forward of choice, who happens to also be my favourite player in this team, is Bato Hlekani. We need a nickname for this kid. May I propose the Buffalo? Because when he goes on the charge, anyone who gets in his way is going to suffer a nasty concussion. If he and Hashim P don't go on to become full Springboks in the future, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. But for now, we have conquered the world. Well done, boys. We are all very, very proud of you. And so what do you think? Did you always believe this was coming? Or were you also concerned after the Under-20 Rugby Championship and mightily impressed by this stunning turnaround? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, why not help me out with a super thanks? That's the heart button with the $sign inside of it. You'll be able to make a highlighted comment. I'll hit the love button on your comment, and I promise to reply too. You'll also have the opportunity to make a small donation to my channel. It's whatever you want it to be. It can be 10 Rand or 10,000 Rand. The reason I'm asking for your help is because I would love to do this full-time, guys. I would also love to go to Australia in 2027 and cover the Rugby World Cup for you from down under with daily coverage. But I'll need your help to make it happen. Whatever you are willing to contribute, I will be very, very grateful. And if you used to work at Eskom and you got a lekker payout, then I'm counting on you to do the right thing. If you're not yet ready to support me in that manner, you can also just spear tackle the like button, and you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And may I recommend this exclusive interview I did with former Springbok fullback Ricardo Loubser. You'll be amazed at what he reveals. If you've already seen it, why not revisit another World Cup triumph by the Pioneers? I put together a full retro review of our 1995 heroes, and that's on your screen over here. And I will speak to you next time.